trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates. Broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah. Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Elohim. Praise Yah.
All right, Facebook, YouTube, forgive us. We had a little technical difficulty. If you had any comments before we went to black, go ahead and reinstate those comments and let us know. Yeah, just let us know that you're there. That happens sometimes. So forgive us. We're going to see if we can kick this thing off again. What we were talking about earlier was that when you're talking about when our father couldn't drive up all the people that were among them, they put them to tribute, but we won't be putting anybody to tribute when you go back and take the land. The people that are in the land today, you're going to have to kill them. Yeah. Now, I shouldn't say that while we're... What the hell? I'm losing it again. Sorry about that, Facebook, the YouTube. We're going through it again. Oh, are we up? What about the others? I don't have Facebook. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out much at all. Bro. I remember it used to be a time when we had these things. I could work with them. I could get it started up and everything. Now I just show up. That's all I do now. I ain't try to figure this thing out, man. It changes so much. Okay, but go ahead, Brother Stephen. Chapter 2, yeah.
And an angel of Yahweh came up from Gilgal to Bochim and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers. And I said, I will never break my covenant with you. And you shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but you have not obeyed my voice. Why have you done this?
Mm.
Also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be a stone in your sides, and God shall be a snare unto you.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when the angel of Yahweh spake these words unto all the children of Israel, that the people lifted up their voice and wept.
Mm-hmm.
And they called the name of that place Bochim, and they sacrificed there unto Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And when Joshua had let the people go, the children of Israel went every man unto his inheritance to possess the land. And the people served Yahweh all the days of Joshua and all the days of the elders that outlived Joshua, who had seen all the great works of Yahweh that he did for Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Yahweh, died being 110 years old.
Mm.
And they buried him in the border of his inheritance in Timnath-Heres in the mount of Ephraim on the north side of the hill of Gad.
Mm-hmm.
And also all that generation were gathered unto their fathers, and there arose another generation after them, which knew not Yahweh, nor yet the works which he had done for Israel.
Mm.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh and served the Elohim. And they forsook Yahweh Elohim of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked Yahweh to anger. And they forsook Yahweh, and served Baal and Ashtaroth. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, And he sold them into the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not any longer stand before their enemies. Whithersoever they went out, the hand of Yahweh was against them for evil, as Yahweh had said, and as Yahweh had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Nevertheless, Yahweh raised up judges, which delivered them out of the hand of those that spoiled them. And yet they would not hearken unto their judges, but they went a whoring after other gods and bowed themselves unto them. They turned quickly out of the way which their fathers walked in, obeying the commandments of Yahweh, but they did not so.
Mm-hmm.
And when Yahweh raised them up judges, then Yahweh was with the judge and delivered them out of the hand of their enemies all the days of the judge. For it repented Yahweh because of their groanings by reason of them that oppressed them and vexed them.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doings, nor from their stubborn way. And the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died, that through them I may prove Israel whether they will keep the way of Yahweh to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore Yahweh left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua.
Have y'all seen this video of IURC marching up in Atlanta? Yeah, yeah, there was, huh? Yeah, you did. Yeah, there's a whole lot of them, talking about hundreds of them, just marching around, man, and upset these Christians here down in Atlanta. Call them synagogue of Satan and all those things. I think I mentioned that in my sermon, but nevertheless, they call them the Power Rangers. IURC. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, but yeah, they was marching around Atlanta, man, and a lot of people got upset about them, brother, because they make a lot of noise, and they had one preacher get up and say, "Y'all welcome to stay, but don't be spreading your doctrine in this church. You be spreading false doctrines." Why they mess with them people?
So they called these Europeans synagogue of Satan, huh?
No, they call IURC synagogue of Satan.
Oh, they call them synagogue.
Yeah.
The Christian call them. Okay, I stand to be corrected. Okay.
You see it? Oh yeah, but nevertheless, they made a show of themselves down here. They went to some kind of convention they were having down here. I didn't get all the details on what the convention was, but it's a Christian convention, black Christians that I saw. And it looked like they were just making a whole lot of noise. You know how they make noise when they're marching, like they drill sergeant, that type of noise. Cadence. Yeah, they were doing those cadence counts. It's like they're in the military. Why would you do something like that? Whose mind are you going to change? Who are you? Who you going to sway to march with you?
Attracting a lot of people, a lot of younger guys.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of guys just coming out of gangs, coming out of prison, they're going that way. Because, it's true that, someone still got a little anger against the white man. The eyes and so there are when people come that direction, men and women, because they're growing, but for me, it's like, where's the love, there's the where's the love, but I don't, and then the approach is different, I've seen them, how they approach people with bullhorns and, talk about approaching our people, that approach is a little off, because you turn some people with it, they're trying,
Yeah, but the thing about them, they are international.
Right, they are.
Yeah, so I think somebody text me and say, what did I think about them? Being that they're international, I mean they're being funded. We don't know who's funding them. Could be Esau himself. But I think these people have a reputation for slamming Esau for being Jew.
Well, they're one of the groups that think, all Gentiles are Esau, but then who's the Gentile? I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about, that's why I came here, like, like, if all Gentiles are Esau, then who will be the Gentile kings that come to serve us in the kingdom? You know what I mean? Who will be Gentiles that make it to the kingdom? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Grill them, but they came across on us, like military young brothers, they say exactly what the Christians did. They're talking about the same thing, you know what I mean, tonight, you know what I'm saying? So, I told them I go get some more laid back. That's why I'm just going to make it so laid back. But, they're really strict, you know what I mean? Because I know a guy, his mom been IRC for a long time, but they don't allow you to go to the holiness with them unless you go to class on a regular basis and study. You know what I mean? You just can't just like, well, you ain't doing your studies and coming and learning. You gotta wait until you get your and go out there and do the works and everything.
That's IUIC?
Yeah, they're strict.
Uh-uh.
You got that together. You can't come to the holiday and keep it together. You ain't been studying and doing your work. You know what I'm saying? They're strict about it.
It ain't like that with them. They're more militaristic.
Yeah, it's just risky with it, but like I say, hey, you want to be part of it. Like you got family that's there, you want to come over there, you got to be studying. You got to be able to study. Be studying, be teaching. You got to be doing your work. You know what I mean? You're not doing all that. You can't come home there. Wait till you get your work and studying, and then you got to keep track of you get studying and working, and then you come out here on holidays and stuff like that. They're really strict now. And they, like I said, they're military because it's like a military type thing.
Yeah, well,
And captains and you know what I mean?
with that many people, you got to have some kind of structure. And that's the only structure that they can control the people by is a military structure. And they have some strict rules that, yeah, you got to do this, got to do that, if you want to be a full participating partner in this. So I can understand that. See, we're small people here, and there's no need to be have that kind of structure here. There's more of a family setting here than a military there. Now, again, I don't understand why they want to show everybody that they're militaristic, because you know that the government see what they're doing, and I bet the government knows who's paying them too. So we're looking at now. I know this may not be COINTELPRO, but I'm pretty sure they got spies up in that bad boy, because they are. They've been watching them and taking notes.
No, really got no right. Like I said, that's one of the reasons why Hebrew Israelites are labeled homeland terrorists because of groups like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Terrorists, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. But y'all using them too. Whatever purpose, he's using them too. We don't see it. Y'all don't feel like y'all let us know anything. All right, but there has to be a purpose for somebody to walk around like that, and that many of them, and being international like that. So they serving Yahweh, even though they don't know they're serving Yahweh, but they may be just a distraction to keep the eyes off of us. Anything can happen. Yeah. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which Yahweh left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war, at the least such as before knew nothing thereof. Namely, 5 masters of the Philistines and of the Canaanites and the Sidonians and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moshe.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, and Amorites, and Perizzites, and Hivites, and Jebusites. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and forgot Yahweh their Elohim, and served Baalim and the groves.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the anger of Yahweh was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, and the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh, Yahweh raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the spirit of Yahweh came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war. And Yahweh delivered Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushan Rishathaim. And the land had rest 40 years, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died.
Now, let me ask you something here. It says in verse 9, now, and when the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh, Yahweh raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. So, Caleb was of the Kenizzites.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't Judah. So his son his son of his younger brother Kenaz, his younger brother had to be of those people too. He's Kenite also, if he's Caleb's younger brother. So how is it that Kenaz became a judge?
Was it because Caleb was getting land among our people?
Yeah, but he's not just for Caleb.
I got one of your commentaries down here. How could he be a judge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your commentaries, mother, is that it?
One of his children had to marry an Israelite.
Okay, I got his mother. That's what we're talking.
Who? Othniel's mother?
No,
Kenaz's mother?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to.
His father was Israel.
Hmm.
So his father could have been Israel.
Yeah, I'm looking at the possibility here. His younger brother, Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. So his younger brother, Kenaz, had to be a Kenizzite.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Othniel, the son of Kenaz, made a judge? No, I had a theory, but I scratched it out. Let me see what else I got here. Because I'm looking at before Kenaz's father died, his mother must have married a Judite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wrote it down in the commentary.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't be a judge. His mother married an Israelite.
Right. Right. So that's what makes him part of Israel. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Judges chapter 3, verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of Yahweh, and Yahweh strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of Yahweh. And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years.
You notice they always go back to doing the dumb stuff because all they do is wait till the judge died. Then all of a sudden they feel like, we need to do what we used to do, worshiping God, knowing what Yahweh did to them before, knowing that the law says you ain't supposed to do that, that you're breaking the covenant. That's one of the main things about Yahweh's covenant. Don't worship other gods. Don't put no God before me. And that's what they're doing here. This is where we come from. And you wonder what's wrong with black people? That is that. Huh?
Does that mean that they're not keeping the Sabbath also?
But these people here,
Right.
it didn't mention anything about them keeping the Sabbath or any of the holy days.
When
So
they-
imagine when they worship in God, they quit keeping the Sabbath. So I don't know what it is about our Father, man, but those old habits are hard to break because they were raised up in Egypt. Egypt had all those gods up in there, and they could see them, so they just couldn't turn their hands away from making gods to themselves. Over and over again, Yahweh put them in the hands of their enemies, and then they cried to Yahweh, and Yahweh come and save them with another judge. And over and over again, we can read all about that. But you got to look at the mindset. What makes you think that you can do this in front of Yahweh? You're like, he's not going to react to it. He did it before, he can do it again. So it's like they're not thinking. Our father wasn't thinking back in the day, but we weren't there. So we don't know what kind of mindset they had back in those days. But he said all the children of Israel started worshiping other gods of the land. So you look at, for instance, here in America. In America, black people worship the white man God. He cannot imagine him worshiping any other God but the white man God. You gonna say something?
It seems like the Levites, they actually kept the history, but they're not practicing it. They didn't really share it with the people. They didn't go out and teach the people because the people like, they ain't had no clue of Israel. They kept the people. You know, they got the Levites weren't going out and teaching the people, but they tried to teach the people. They were probably that breakdown.
Yeah, that very well may be a very big factor in them not sticking with what they've been taught because they knew to call upon Yahweh when they got in trouble. So they knew to call upon Him. They should have known that they were supposed to be keeping His law. So what was the Levite at? What was the priest at? Well, when they went into the land, they didn't all settle in one spot. So they went and settled in different spots in the land. So and maybe a timeline, but the Levites weren't around. Maybe they were somewhere else. We're gonna see more about these Levites because everything wasn't formal, and so they might have had a Levite show up maybe 1 or 2 years or 4 or 5 years. So they were so scattered around that you couldn't depend on one showing up. And if one did show up, did he know the law? Right. So they might have just went along with the program just to stay alive. Since the Levites didn't have an inheritance among the children of Israel, they might have just went along with the worship of other gods just to have some place to lay their head. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
Judges chapter 3, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But when the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh, Yahweh raised them up a deliverer, Ehud the son of Jerah, a Benjamite, a man left-handed. And by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab.
Mm-hmm.
But Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubic length, and he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king, who said, Keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor, which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from Elohim unto thee. And he arose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand and took the dagger from his right thigh and thrust it into his belly. And the haft also went in after the blade, and the fat closed upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out.
Mm.
Then Ehud went forth to the porch and shut the doors of the parlor and locked them. When he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, surely he covered up his feet in his summer chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And they tarried till they were ashamed, And behold, he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key and opened them. And behold, their master was fallen down dead on the earth. And Ehud escaped while they tarried and passed beyond the quarries and escaped unto Seir. And it came to pass when he was come that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, Follow after me, for Yahweh hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. And they slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men, all lusty, and all men of valor, and there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. And after him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox gold, and he also delivered Israel. And the children of Israel again did evil in the sight of Yahweh when Ehud was dead. And Yahweh sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor. The captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the nations. And the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidot, she judged Israel at that time. And she dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel and Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. And she sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Has not Yahweh Elohim of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun. And I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him into thine hand. And Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. And she said, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor, for Yahweh shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. And Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him.
The Christian women like to point out Deborah as an example of women in the pulpit. Even though Paul said you should not assert authority over a man. They use this to justify women being Christian preachers. How is that possible? Deborah is not a Christian, and she's not a preacher. She's a judge, right? And she's an administrative judge at that, because the judge, the book of Judges talk about men of deliverance. These are warriors. So even though she was a judge, she's an administrative judge. The rest of them are warriors like Barak. I was told to go and tell Barak that he wanted to go there against these people. But Barak has a meaning, doesn't it? What the term Barak means?
Yes, it's how you use it. Some one way it's blessed, like blessed, another way it's like.
I heard it meant thank you. I think I'm right, because I get that a lot when people text me. So I'm trying to guess what they're trying to tell me at the end of the text. Blessing. Yeah, okay, that's what that is. Okay. All right. Barak. Well. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Judges chapter 4, verse 10. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, which was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moshe, had severed himself from the Canaanites and pitched his tent onto the plains of Zaanaim, which is by Kadesh.
Now, this is the third name of this man. No wonder why his name changed so much. You know who Hobab is? Jethro. What other name did Jethro go by? Reuel. Why does this man's name change all the time?
Sometimes like you talk about his grandfather or something.
Yeah, but he said he's the father-in-law of Moshe. So
Little name, maybe?
another man.
You like little name, like first name.
No, because most of the time when you read about people's name, they are the son of somebody, or the daughter of somebody. They very rarely had surnames. All right, so we have here another name for Reuel and Jethro, Hobab. I guess that you have to look at that. These are handwritten manuscripts, so you have to allow for some type of error from time to time because they're going from generation to generation, and sometimes names evolve, names are forgotten. They throw a name up in there, but when they say the father-in-law of Moshe, you know who they're talking about. I'm looking at it that way. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Judges chapter 4, verse 12. And they showed Sisera that Barak the son of Abinoam was gone up to Mount Tabor. And Sisera gathered together all his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him from Harosheth of the nations unto the river of Kishon. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day in which Yahweh hath delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not Yahweh gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor and 10,000 men after him. And Yahweh discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his hosts with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off his chariot and fled away on his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the host unto Harosheth of the nations, and all the host of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left.
Mm-hmm.
Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Yael, the wife of Heber the Kenite. For there was peace between Jabin, the king of Hazor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said unto him, Turn in, my master, turn in to me, fear not. And when he had turned in unto her into the tent, she covered him with a mantle.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man does come and inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? That thou shalt say, No. Then Yael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, and took an hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it into the ground, for he was fast asleep and weary, so he died.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Yael came out to meet him and said unto him, Come, and I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he came into the tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So Elohim subdued on that day Jabin, the king of Canaan, before the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel prospered and prevailed against Jabin, the king of Canaan, until they had destroyed Jabin, king of Canaan. Then sang Deborah, and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, Praise you, Yahweh, for the avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves. Hear, O you kings, give ear, O you princes. Even I, will sing unto Yahweh. I will sing praise to Yahweh Elohim of Israel. Yahweh, when thou wentest out of Sheol, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled and the heavens dropped, the clouds also dropped water.
Mm-hmm.
The mountains melted before Yahweh, even that Sinai from before Yahweh Elohim of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Yael, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through byways.
Mm-hmm.
The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel until that I, Deborah, arose, that I arose a mother in Israel. They chose new gods. Then was war in the gates. Was there a field seen among 40,000 in Israel?
Mm-hmm.
My heart is toward the governors of Israel that offer themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye Yahweh. Speak, ye that ride on white asses, ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah, awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinadab. Then he made him that remaineth have dominion over the nobles among the people. Yahweh made me have dominion over the mighty. Out of Ephraim was there a root of them against Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people, out of Maker came down governors, and out of Zebulun they that handled the pen of the writer.
Mm-hmm.
And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah, even Issachar and also Barak. He was set on foot into the valley, for the divisions of Reuben, there were great thoughts of heart. Why abodest thou among the sheepfolds to hear the bleatings of the flocks? For the divisions of Reuben there were great searchings of heart.
Mm-hmm.
Gilead abode beyond Jordan, and why did Dan remain in ships? Asher continued on the seashore and abode in his breaches. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeoparded their lives unto the death in the high places of the field. The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan and Telnath by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money.
Mm-hmm.
They fought from heaven with stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The river Kishon swept them away, that ancient river, the river Kishon. O my soul, thou hast trodden down strength. Then were the horse hoofs broken by the means of the prancings of thy mighty ones.
Mm-hmm.
Curse ye Meroz, said the angel of Yahweh. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of Yahweh against the mighty. Blessed above women shall Yael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, be. Blessed shall she be above women in the tent. He asked water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in a, what's that, lordly dish? What was
Royal.
Royal dish, okay.
Mm-hmm.
She put her hand to the nail and her right hand to the workman hammer. With the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote off his head when she had pierced and stricken through his temples. At her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell. Where he bowed, there he fell down dead.
Mm-hmm.
The mother of Sisera looked out at a wonder and cried through the lattice, why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? Her wise ladies answered her, yea, she returned answer to herself. Have they not spared? Have they not divided the prey? To every man a damsel or two, to Sisera a prey of divers colors, a prey of divers colors of needlework, of divers colors of needlework on both sides, meat for the necks of them that take the spoil. So let all thine enemies perish, O Yahweh, but let them that love him be as the sun when he goeth forth in his might, and the land had rest 40 years.
So they're warriors type people. They're used to fighting and killing people, man. Now you're not gonna have to worry about that when the kingdom is set up, because they're not gonna study war no more, right? So Everybody be in his own land under the own vine tree, so there won't need for no one to invade your land for the resources, because everybody have everything that they want. So, but here we see constant fighting, constant warfare, and it has to take a toll on your soul, because it's not like you're shooting a gun. You got to get up real close in close proximity and put that sword in the fifth rib. So that means you got to grab them, but you got to have a heart to do that. I mean, these men's heart, uh, that's the environment that they were in, and so it wasn't a big deal for somebody to be killed with a sword like that, shot through with an arrow, because they were warriors back in the day. They had to fight to hold on to what they had. So we're not used to that right now. But what we are used to is calling 911 and let them do our fighting. But as far as close contact, hand to hand, Jake ain't used to that. Now they want them gangs up in Chicago. They still talking smack, saying that they can take on the American military.
Is that what they said? They said they can take on America.
Yeah.
And those guys, they remind me of them fellas in the barber shop. When we gonna have a race war? I say, do you really want to fight these people? Why? They don't want to fight you. I'm ready. I can take on the whole military. I can do anything. I got stuff in my house. He's a young fella, about 40 years old. You know, all them 20, 25, 35-year-old guys. They think they mad with white people and they want to fight, but it's just like the old man said, it's saber rattling, just talking all crazy stuff.
So these men about 40-some years old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you blessed.
I'm 48. I'm worried for it.
You know I'm coming at you. These blessed can catch on real
They
quick.
want to fight these white people. And I'm like, man, you're not quick to fight anybody. We don't have a standing arm.
Yeah.
But he told me we got one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we got tanks, we got drones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, well, can't argue with that. That's what you say. But the same guy that was talking that smack, somebody broke in his house. He was upstairs. He jumped out the window and ran. There's a guy in the box. So he said, "Oh, this that guy, man." Somebody broke in his house. Instead of him defending himself, he opened up the window and jumped out and ran.
Be all that big, mighty, right? You ready for war? He can't defend his own house. Jake talk a lot of smack, but yeah, you don't have to listen to him. Go ahead, man.
Judges chapter 6, verse 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and Yahweh delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, and because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them dens, which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till they come unto Gaza, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass.
Now, does this sound like something that happened in the law? Is this covered in the law? More exactly, is this covered in Deuteronomy 28 with them curses? Yeah. In verse 4 it says, verse 3, and so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them, and they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till they come up to Gaza, and left no substance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor ass. So yeah, that's in Deuteronomy 28. So that's already come to pass. So we don't have to worry about that right now. We don't even have this anymore. We have to go to the store and get our sustenance. We're not farmers anymore, but we're just servants. That's all we are. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Judges chapter 6, verse 5. For they came up with their cattle and their tents And they came as grasshoppers for multitude, but both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto Yahweh because of the Midianites, that Yahweh sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you forth out of the house of bondage, and I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all that oppress you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land.
Mm-hmm.
And I said unto you, I am Yahweh your Elohim. Fear not the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell, but you have not obeyed my voice.
Mm.
And then came an angel of Yahweh that sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, that pertained to Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him and said unto him, Yahweh is with thee, thou mighty man of valor.
Now, this angel just hanging around. What's he doing just hanging around? I know he's waiting on Gideon to show up to give him a message, but it says in verse 11, and that there came an angel of Yahweh and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. Again, it wasn't no accident. He just sitting around there. He waiting on Gideon to show up. Go ahead, brother Steph. And the angel of Yahweh appeared unto him, said unto him, Yahweh is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. That's a message. That's what the angel's supposed to do, is give you a message. Right? Go ahead, brother Steph.
Judges chapter 6, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon said unto him, O my master, if Yahweh be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not Yahweh bring us up from Egypt? But now Yahweh hath forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh looked upon him and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? And he said unto him, O my master, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as one man.
Mm-hmm.
And he said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I will tarry until thou come again.
Mm-hmm.
Gideon went in and made ready a kid and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him under the oak, and presented it.
Mm-hmm.
And the angel of Elohim said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so.
They knew you're supposed to make a sacrifice with a vision like this, but they were doing it all wrong. They had forgotten the dietary law, that the law that you're not supposed to eat the blood of the meat. So that broth was that blood. And so they weren't keeping the law, but yet still Yahweh still sent an angel to him. Because they had a task for him to do. It doesn't matter what he was doing at the time. But he had a task for him to do. I said, I want you to deliver my people. Right? So he screwed up. Now we knew that he didn't know that law that well, but nevertheless, Yahweh still used him, made him a judge. Right? So Yahweh chooses who he wants to choose. Go ahead, Brother Jackson.
Judges chapter 6, verse 21. Then the angel of Yahweh put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes. And there rose up a fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of Yahweh departed out of his sight.
Mm-hmm.
And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of Yahweh, Gideon said, Alas, O Adonai Elohim, for because I have seen an angel of Yahweh face to face. And Yahweh said unto him, Peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto Yahweh and called it Yahweh Shalom. Unto this day it is yet an opera of the Abiezrites. And it came to pass the same night that Yahweh said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father has, and cut down the grove that is by it. And build an altar unto Yahweh thy Elohim upon the top of this rock in the ordered place, and take the second bullock and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove, which thou shalt cut down.
Did you catch that? The second bullock. What's wrong with the first one? Because Yahweh always gets the firstborn.
Went back to him.
That might have been what happened here. The first bullock was blemished. So he used the other bullock. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 27. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants and did as Yahweh had said unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, that he did it by night.
Mm-hmm.
And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it, and the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built.
Mm-hmm.
And they said one to another, Who have done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, has done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, Bring out thy son, that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will you plead for Baal? Will you save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death whilst it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself,
Mm-hmm.
because one hath cast down his altar.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore on that day he called him Yeru Baal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together and went over and pitched in the valley of Yisrael. But the Spirit of Yahweh came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezer were gathered after him, and he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also was gathered after him, and he sent messengers unto Asher and unto Zebulun and unto Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. And Gideon said unto Elohim, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said. And it was so, for he rose up early on the morrow, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon said unto Elohim, Let not thine anger be hard against me, and I will speak this but once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And Elohim did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground.
Y'all got a lot of patience with Gideon, man. Because he testing him over and over again. You really him? What I got to do? So yeah, he patient with some people, but some people he's not patient with. As we see with Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist. Gabriel didn't have any patience with him. So depending on what side of the bed he got out of that morning, I guess, because he went after he got through with Zechariah, he went to Mary. Yeah, Mary doubted him too. He ain't do nothing to her. So I guess, like I said, depending on what kind of mood these angels are in, don't really feel like taking nothing off y'all. Or just be patient with y'all, cause he could kill you in a minute. But that ain't what he there for. He there to give you a message. So you take it with what you want. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Judges chapter 7, verse 1. Then Jeru, Baal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him, rose up early and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the hosts of the Midianites were on the north side of them by the hill of Morah in the valley. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand have saved me. Now therefore go to, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And there return of the people 20 and 2,000, and there remain 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahweh said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many. Bring them down unto the water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be that of whom I say unto thee, this shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, this shall not go with thee, the same shall not go.
Mm-hmm.
So he brought down the people unto the water, and Yahweh said unto Gideon, every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shall thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water.
Why he choose these men that lapped?
Because they were still focused.
Right. And when a dog laugh, he's looking at you at the same time, watching you. Go ahead, Stephen.
Judges chapter 7, verse 7. And Yahweh said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that left will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thy hand. And all the other people go, every man unto his place.
Mm-hmm.
So the people took victuals in their hand and their trumpets, and he sent all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of Midian was beneath him in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass the same night that Yahweh said unto him, arise, get thee down unto the host, for I have delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down with Phurah thy servant down to the host, and thou shalt hear what they say, and afterward shall thine hands be strengthened to go down unto the host. Then went he down with Phurah his servant unto the outside of the armed men that were in the host.
Mm-hmm.
And the Midianites and the Amalekites and all the children of the east lay along in the valley like grasshoppers for multitude. And their camels were without number, as the sand by the seaside for multitude. And when Gideon was come, behold, there was a man that told a dream unto his fellow, and said, behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came unto a tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it that the tent lay alone.
Mm-hmm.
And his fellow answered and said, this is nothing else save the sword of Gideon, the son of Joash, a man of Israel. For into his hand have Yahweh delivered Midian and all the hosts. And it was so, when Gideon heard the telling of the dream and the interpretation thereof, that he worshipped and returned into the host of Israel, and said, arise, for Yahweh have delivered into your hand the host of Midian.
Mm-hmm.
And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a trumpet in every man's hand with empty pitchers and lamps within the pitchers. And he said unto them, look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that as I do, so shall you do. When I blow a trumpet, I and all that are with me, then blow you the trumpets also on every side of all the camp, and say, the sword of Yahweh and of Gideon. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came unto the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch, and they have a newly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the three companies blew the trumpets and brake their pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands to blow withal. And they cried, the sword of Yahweh and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and Yahweh set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the hosts. And the host fled to Beth Shittim, Zerirath, and to the border of Abel Meholah unto Tabak.
Now, that's another ingredient we must consider when you're talking about taking the kingdom. It says in the 300, verse 22, and the 300 blew the trumpets, and Yahweh set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the hosts, and the hosts fled to Beth Shittah and Zerirath, and to the border of Abel Meholah unto Tabit. So, yeah, that's another ingredient in you taking a land that fight amongst themselves, kill themselves.
You know, there's a lot of Muslims in the land too, so they probably fight with the folks.
You got Ham on that too. Yeah, so that all of them got to go. Go ahead. But we got cleanse the land too. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stan.
Verse 23, and the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali and out of Asher and out of all Manasseh and pursued after the Midianites. And Gideon sent messengers throughout all Mount Ephraim, saying, come down against the Midianites and take before them the waters unto Beth Barah and Jordan. Then all the men of Ephraim gathered themselves together and took the waters of Beth Barah and Jordan. And they took two princes of the Midianites, Oreb and Zeel, and they slew Oreb upon the rock Oreb, and Zeel they slew at the winepress of Zeel, and pursued Zeel and pursued Midian, and brought the heads of Oreb and Zeel to Gideon on the other side Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And the men of Ephraim said unto him, why hast thou served us thus, and why thou callest us not when thou wentest to fight with the Midianites? And they did chide with him sharply. And he said unto them, what have I done now in comparison of you? Is not the gleaming of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of about Abiezer?
Mm-hmm.
Elohim have delivered into your hands the princes of Midian, Oreb, and Zeel. And what was I able to do in comparison of you? Then their anger was abated toward him when he had said that. And Gideon came to Jordan and passed over, he and the 300 men that were with him, faint, yet pursuing them. And he said unto the man of Succoth, give, I pray you, loaves of bread unto the people that follow me, for they be faint, and I am pursuing after Zebah and Zalmunna, kings of Midian. And the princes of Succoth said, are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna in thine hands, that we should give bread unto thine army? And Gideon said, therefore, when Yahweh have delivered Zebah and Zalmunna into mine hand, then I will tear your flesh with the thorns of the wilderness and with bribes. And he went up thence to Penuel and spake unto them likewise. And the men of Penuel answered him as the men of Succoth had answered him. And he spake also unto the men of Penuel, saying, when I am come again in peace, I will break down this tower. Now Zebah and Zalmunna were in Karkor, and their host with them, about 15,000 men, all that were left of all the hosts of the children of the east. But there fell 120,000 men that drew sword. And Gideon went up by the way of them that dwelt in the tents on the east of Nobah and Jogbehah, and smote the host, for the host was secure. And when Zebah and Zalmunna fled, he pursued after them, and took the two kings of Midian, Zebah and Zalmunna, and discomfited all the hosts. And Gideon the son of Joash returned from the battle before the sun was up, and called a young man of the men of Succoth, and inquired of him. And he described unto him the princes of Succoth, and the elders thereof, even 70 men. And he came unto the man of Succoth and said, Behold, Zebah and Zalmunna, with whom you did upbraid me, saying, Are the hands of Zebah and Zalmunna now in thine hand, that we should give bread unto thy men that are weary? And he took the elders of the city and the thorns of the wilderness and briars, and with them he taught the men of Succoth. And he beat down the tower of Penuel and slew the men of the city. Then said he unto Zebah and Zalmunna, What manner of men were they whom you slew at Tabor? And they answered, As thou art, so were they. Each one resembled the children of a king.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, They were my brethren, even the sons of my mother. As Yahweh liveth, if you had saved them alive, I would not slay you. And he said unto Jether his firstborn up and slay them. But the youth drew not his sword, for he feared because he was yet a youth. Then Zebah and Zalmunna said, Rise thou and fall upon us, for as the man is, so is his strength. And Gideon arose and slew Zebah and Zalmunna, and took away the ornaments that were on their camels' necks.
They knew how to die. Yeah, you gonna kill us. Go ahead, man.
Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son and thy son's son also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of Midian.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. Yahweh shall rule over you.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon said unto them, I would desire a request of you, that you would give me every man the earrings of his prey, for they had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites.
Mm.
And they answered, We will willingly give them. And they spread a garment, and did cast therein every man the earrings of his prey. And the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, beside ornaments and collars and purple raiment that was on the kings of Midian, and beside the chains that were about their camels' necks. And Gideon made an ephod thereof, and put it in his city, even in Ophrah, and all Israel went thither a whoring after it, which thing became a snare unto Gideon and to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Thus was Midian subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted up their heads no more. And the country was in quietness 40 years in the days of Gideon. And Jerubbaal the son of Joash went and dwelt in his own house. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. And his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech.
Mm-hmm.
And Gideon the son of Joash died in a good old age, and was buried in the sepulchre of Joash his father in Ophrah of the Abiezrites.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass, as soon as Gideon was dead, that the children of Israel turned again, and went a whoring after Baalim, and made Baal Berith their god.
Mm.
And the children of Israel remembered not Yahweh their Elohim, who had delivered them out of the hands of all their enemies on every side, neither showed they kindness to the house of Jerubbaal, namely Gideon, according to all the goodness which he had showed unto Israel.
All right, Stephen, I don't want to go no further than this. I'm going to stop right here. Y'all will pick it up on next week. But before we dismiss, does anyone have any questions? No questions? Okay. Let's see what's on here.
Huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. I have Sister Naraya on YouTube at the top.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shalom, Sister Naraya. Shalom, Julius Brown. Shalom, Shaul ben Israel. Shalom, Yehusef ben Israel. Shalom, Dwayne Greer. Shalom, Yirmiyahu. Let's see here. Yeah. We'll see it if King David will not help be one to lead the charge. Yeah, we're counting on that, but we'll have to just wait and see when that will manifest itself. Shalom, Sister Malaka. Shalom, Mickey Anderson. Shalom, Brother Yosef. Shalom, Sister Mother Akia. My best to your husband, Elder Edazar. Shalom, Brother Kemuel. Shalom, Shaul Ben Israel. Question, Elder, could Satan be the father of pride? I understand the scripture doesn't say that, but considering how Yahweh hates pride as he does, Satan don't operate that way. Pride comes from man. But let me temper that with Ezekiel 28. And Ezekiel 28, what I'm about to read to you is about Satan himself. But these are the things going to be Yahweh found in Satan. But does that pride be part of Satan? No, I think that's a human emotion. That's why we have to guard against pride, because we're supposed to be Yahweh's servant. And the servant is never proud. In verse 11 of Ezekiel 28, it said, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Adonai Elohim, though thou sit above the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty, thou hast been in Eden, the garden of Elohim, every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold, the workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes were prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. So we know this is not talking about a person. This person, this entity is a created creature. Verse 14: Thou art the anointed cherub that cover. I have set thee so. Thou was upon the holy mountain of Elohim, that walked up and down in midst of the stones of fire. So when he talks about you anointed cherub that cover, he's talking about the Ark of the Covenant. You know that Moshe was told to make two cherubims facing each other on the Ark of the Covenant to cover up the mercy seat. And so Satan is one of those cherubim. Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou wast created until iniquity was found in thee. But the multitude of thy merchandise they have filled with in the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee out as profane out of the mountain of Elohim, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou was corrupted by thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before a king, that they may behold thee. So again, that doesn't really come close to pride, but nevertheless, we know that Satan is a prideful angel, the way he carries himself, because when you look at the fact that he tempted the Mashiach, so that he doesn't care about anyone but himself. So that's my answer. I can't say that pride is something out of Satan, because Yahweh can break the pride out of people, but you can't break Satan out of the people. Who wants to know, did you get disconnected from YouTube? I missed a lot of the class. Yes, we did, my brother. But we back up now. So how can he pick up the rest of that?
You can go back and rewatch it.
Hmm?
You have to go back and pull it back.
On Facebook? You can put it back on Facebook, brother. Who wants to know? I don't know. What about YouTube? Can't do it on with YouTube, because he's watching on YouTube.
Yeah, you can do it on YouTube.
You can watch it on YouTube. Who wants to know? Shalom, Kimberly Israel. Shalom, Gregor Rucker. Shalom, brother Yaakov Ben Israel. Shalom, Lonely Red Wolf. I don't have anybody after Lonely Red Wolf. Okay. All right then. Well, I'll give you 5 seconds, Facebook, YouTube, to put me something up there, else I'm gonna shut it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Sound like a plan. Join us. We have a sisters class coming 5th day, which is Thursday night, and we have a Sabbath service coming up this Saturday. So let me repeat that we had a very good time in the Feast of Tabernacles. We had guests from out of town, and they all had a good time. We all had a good time. We spent all week up here and had great food. And we do this, Yahweh allowed us to do this every year. So I wish you people that watch us on YouTube and Facebook, we wish you would come and join us, because it's none but family down here. We're not trying to impress anybody. We're just regular folks. All right. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, YouTube, for joining us